Hey guys, Jeremiah with Steps Pressure Washing and More. We are getting ready to head out to Apex, North Carolina to do some gutter cleaning. Then we are going to be coming home and grabbing the trailer and then heading out to Smithfield. With us zigzagging across town today, I decided I did not want to drag the trailer an extra 60 miles if I didn't need to, along with paying tolls, because we have a beautiful new toll road that can get me out to Apex in just over a half hour. So we're going to be just leaving the trailer at home because we're going to have to drive by the house on the way back out to Smithfield. So it is currently 29 degrees. I think we are going to be up to about 33 by noon today. So it's just going to be warm enough to wash later this afternoon, but it's not going to be preferable. But let's go out there, let's get some gutters cleaned out and do some driving today. All right, let's get out there. All right, so out on project number 1 today, we are doing these gutter cleaning, and it's not as bad as I've had it in the past here, but we have a ton of pine trees just immediately surrounding this house, so the back is always absolutely piled up, and we actually, I don't use a bucket on this one. I just throw it all on the ground, do ground cleanup later. It's wildly inefficient to do a bucket when you have this much debris. So I'm gonna get this scooped out and start moving our way towards the front. I'm having to come out front because the backside was completely frozen. The sun hadn't hit that side yet. So I'm working on these gutters here above the garage, which is kind of the hardest to get spot. So gonna be finishing up here. I got just about the whole front of the house done. I just need to do a couple of touch-ups and get this big old pile down here out of the way. So it's taking a little longer than I wanted to, but hey, that's gutters, right? All right, so these are still pretty well frozen, but they're loose enough where I can scrape them out, and just can't go more than a few feet at a time. I just kind of got to do this manually, and then I'll come back through with the gutter tool and scrape out the little bits in the bottom. That's what happens. We're almost at freezing now. We're at 31. So hopefully it'll be decent weather for washing today. There you go. One nice solid chunk of frozen pine straw. Yeehaw. All right, out here on job number 2, finally getting started. Been letting the tank fill up for about 45 minutes, so hopefully no issues here. We do know that this neighborhood has a lot of water issues, so we're just gonna do what we can, make this happen. We are up to 38 degrees right now. I do believe it's supposed to get all the way up to a scorching 39 before we leave today. And the client is currently trying to get one of the cars to move in the driveway, but that driveway corner is going to be the last one we do. So I told him he had probably a good hour to do what he needed to do. And if he can't get it running, he said he's going to get it covered. So it's one good thing when the clients are home. They can help do some of that prep. So we don't run into any liability issues. This one is plenty green. And on the list for the HOA, so we're happy to get it done and get it done in the winter time. All right, so got halfway done with the house. Everything was going really well, and came back to check on the trailer and looked like we had run through about 100 gallons of our buffer. I started out with about 125 in there, and yeah, it burned it right up. So I'm going to sit in the truck where it's nice and warm, let that refill, and kind of go from there. It's been a really great day so far. I'm absolutely loving all the sunshine. I'm loving, you know, having new customers, repeat clients, a mix of everything. A little more driving than I'd want to do, but honestly, I don't mind driving. You know, I would much rather be out here doing this than sitting behind a desk and not getting any sunshine all winter time. Yes, it's cold, and the Gator has come in wildly handy. I've absolutely loved having that today, cover up my face, just to keep some of that water off me and the wind off me. It's a nice little wind today, but yeah, other than that, just going to sit here and wait for that thing to refill, and we'll get back in business. All right, back in business. I ended up having a lot of junk in the tank, and I'm not sure exactly what happened with that. Maybe it came out of the spigot. Maybe it came somewhere out of the inside of the reel, but I disconnected my line that takes the water into the tank. I disconnected it out of the hose reel and just dropped that garden hose directly in to the top of the tank. And it seems to be going much better without that restriction of going through the reel. And I think that's going to do me. I'm at about 75 gallons right now in the tank. I'm going to get this side washed and see where we are. But I think just taking away the restrictive, really everything. I mean, I cut out a bunch of valves, the float valve, everything got taken out of the equation, just where it straight dropped into the top of the tank, which is not my favorite thing to do, but if it works, I'll do it today. And we'll see how much more water flow I get going into that tank. Did a little bit of admin work, catch up while I was sitting there trying to get some of my expenses put into QuickBooks and deposit the check I got this morning. Save me a little bit of time this evening after I get home. And plus, with House Pro going, I really don't have to do anything other than that simple admin stuff where I'm reporting my expenses and mileage. So, yeehaw. Alright, so disconnecting the inlet line out of the hose reel and dropping it in the top has completely solved my issue, and I have more than plenty of flow to keep up, starting off at that 75 gallon startup. So I'm really wishing I had done that before. I don't know if I had a clog somewhere in there, or maybe this just showed me a flaw somewhere in my system, but I don't know. Part of me is thinking maybe a Hudson valve. I've never had a Job valve until this tank, and I never had issues. Well, I rarely had issues with water pressure when I was using a Hudson valve, so I might end up switching back to a Hudson just to try it out, because something in my system, I believe, is a problem. I have had issues in this neighborhood every time I've come out, and right now it is the most flow I've ever had while working out here. So I'm thinking that there's something going on in there. Maybe it just needed to be disconnected. Maybe when I hook it back into the reel, it'll flow just fine. Maybe I just needed to get rid of whatever was blocking it. But we'll see. That's the joy of all this. Learning as we go. Client was not able to move their vehicle So we did a pre-rinse, we're going to do a post-rinse and try our best not to get too much on it. Alright, water from the tank to the pressure washer shut off. Dump valve open. Windshield wiper fluid goes in. Just like that. And then all I have to do is crank it up until blue starts flowing out. And there we go. I'll just put the rest of this back into the bottle. So that one came out nice and easy. The client was super happy with it. And they have an invoice now to send to the HOA to let them know we had it done, we have proof, you can stop sending us emails. So again, thank you to all the HOAs out there who are keeping up on your properties. And yeah, I'm hoping to be back out in this neighborhood very soon. This was our 8th project since October, and I am really loving having the new subdivision where everybody is actively looking for a pressure washer. So it may just be these 8, and that's okay with me too. That's way more than I have in a lot of subdivisions, and I will take what we can get. All right, well, I'm gonna go get warm. Hopefully you guys are out there washing too, and thanks again for watching. Y'all be safe out there.